So I'm going to spend probably 5 minutes giving you an overview of AAA 115. As you know, we have two college success courses that counseling oversees. One is AAA 115, and the other one is CPD 150. That's the 3-credit version. So I guess the theme for the next section is the student success stories, and I want to start with a question, as I like to start my classes with questions to make people think. So how can we best prepare in a 1-credit or 3-credit course students to succeed in their academic experience, in their college experience, and in life? That's the driving question, and our district and our counselors have created these courses, and I want to give you an overview. Today, though, I'm going to talk about AAA because that is the main course that we're offering. We had over 500 students completing that course this last semester. So AAA 115, Creating College Success. So in this class, students learn about strategies to create college success, methods to select academic strategies, and it's not just about study skills. It is also about self-awareness, awareness of self-management strategies like time management, also working with others, being able to connect with other students, with faculty, with the campus, connecting with resources, and building relationships. So hard and soft skills. So, I'm glad the sound worked. Wanted to get a little bit of action there. So more specifically, so students learn effective behaviors. And when we say behaviors, it's not just things that you observe. Some of this might be the mindset, the motivation, again, the self-awareness of things that are behaviors that are going to help you succeed in college, in careers, and in life. Time management, of course. Let me see a show of hands. Anybody here have any experience with procrastination? Wow, got a lot of experts in the house. Glad to be in good company. Stress. Anybody here know anything about stress? Me too. And really, when I think about this class, I really wish I would have had this kind of class when I started college. I mean, I could have used it in graduate school as well. So stress management, stress awareness. Of course, study strategies, study skills to support college success. College terminology. There's an awful lot of terminology, an awful lot of new words and acronyms and things that we need to learn about the college culture. And again, connecting with the resources, everybody that's here, helping students connect and use those resources. I use the word connection a lot. Again, connecting with students, with the faculty, with staff, and with each other. And also connecting with a sense of career direction and career goals. Very important. Cultural differences. We are a very diverse campus, but we're also a very diverse country and a very diverse culture. We know that the world of work is diverse, and we need to be able to work with differences. Goal setting, as I mentioned earlier, and setting personal and educational goals, and an action plan related to these goals. But what makes South unique is how we've integrated strengths in Strengths Quest. So I want to talk about that for a little bit. So how do we do that? You take all these objectives, how do we go about integrating strengths into this curriculum? So we do that by creating some modules. We organized the course around these modules, basically wanting students to feel welcome in the campus and connecting with campus resources. A lot of you have seen students doing, for example, scavenger hunt, or having to go to meet with an advisor as part of the course. So we were making sure that there are no students that fall through the cracks. Then, of course, the integration of taking Strengths Quest, the awareness, discovery, and development of students' strengths in the service of their career and educational goals. So we do this through several exercises, many of them you've done, and other ones that are more specific to students. We want students to be aware of high performance, mindset, behaviors, again, engaging strengths towards high performance in academics and in careers. And then we really zero in on the integration of strengths towards academics, the awareness of how do we use our strengths to be better students, to find a major that we can be engaged with, and how do we best study and learn. Also, the same applies for careers. How can students identify careers where they can thrive, where they can be engaged in their talents and strengths, do what comes naturally to them, succeed, work well with others, and thrive in the world of work. And lastly, and we know that we learn, I should say, what we teach others. So we want to have students be able to teach back, to reflect, and to teach each other what they've learned, and this really reinforces the learning. And I have had the fortune to not only teach but also observe many of these classes, and I can tell you that overwhelmingly the response is very positive. Students really seem to be picking up and learning and using what we're wanting them to learn. So one last slide here before we turn it over to Chris, Aran, and the students. What are the numbers? Let's do the numbers. Students enrolled for the fall in AAA 115, 553 students, 27 sections, and 20 instructors. So I want to just ask y'all to let's give a hand to these students, the instructors, and everybody that worked behind the scenes, because I think this was a monumental task, and we're going to hear from our students now to hear about their success stories and their strength stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Now we'd like to bring out our student panel. Before we do, I'd like to introduce the moderator for today's session from our recruitment office, Christopher Aran.
All right. Let's give these 7 students a round of applause for coming out here. They're so excited to be here with you guys today. Well, Happy New Year, South Mountain family. How you guys doing? Doing good? All right, sounds like it. Sounds like it's a wonderful year for everyone out here. We got some great panelists here, ranging from ACE graduates, from adult reentry students, to students who went through our minority male summer bridge program. So we got a great panel here for you this morning to kind of talk about their experiences through this college success. Again, my name is Christopher Adan. I'm the coordinator of recruitment services here at South Mountain. And one of the big things that we share when we're out at our schools and our community and at different fairs is that we're a strength-based college. And today we're going to hear from some of our students that learned that, what does that mean? Because when we go out there, what makes South Mountain unique? What makes us so different from maybe our other 9 sister colleges or other options that students have? And South Mountain, as we know, is a wonderful college to be at. So we've asked these students to come in and talk to us a little bit about why South Mountain? Why did they choose South Mountain? Why did they choose to come back? And what has it done for them so far in their journey through this college education? So I'm excited. You guys excited to hear from them? Yeah, right. We're so excited, and we thank you guys for coming out today. They're going to start with introductions. We want to know, who are they? Where'd they come from? What's their major? What do they want to study? And some of our faculty out there might notice some of them from your classrooms, or they're going to be in your classrooms next week, actually. So we're going to start over here with Joseph. He's going to introduce himself. We'll go down the line, and then we have some questions for the rest of the crew here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joseph May. I am a 2012 graduate of South Mountain High School. Happy to be here at South Mountain Community, and I am studying theology and communications.
Hi, my name is Akram Mohammed. I'm a 2012 graduate of AEC South Mountain High School. I'm president of scholarship for Phi Theta Kappa and student government co-chair, and my major is pre-med.
Hello, my name is Paula Long, and I am coming back to school after 45 years. And I'm going to be a social worker.
And she's studying social work, she said.
Hi, my name is Luis Marquez. I'm a graduate from NFLEA Academy at a little charter school. My major would be criminal justice, and I want to become an FBI agent.
All right. My name is Frank Matos. I'm a student here at South Mountain Community College. I'm a graduate of 2012 for Betty Fairfax High School, and I'm doing computer programming.
Frank?
I'm Scenario Rivera. I'm a 2012 graduate from Carl Hayden High School, and I'm double majoring in education and art.
All right.
Hello, my name is Christian Castro. I graduated 2012 from Tempe High, but I'm around here. I'm an IB certificate graduate and a presidential scholar, and I'm planning on majoring in education, particularly elementary ed.
All right. Christian, I'm going to keep you up here. You're going to start it off here on this side. Thank you guys so much for introductions. Some were a little nervous, but they did a great job in their introductions, don't you believe? Yeah, they did a great job. Thank you guys so much. Well, Christian, you had a lot of choices to choose from in going to college when you graduated from Tempe High School. And, you know, being an IB student, that's wonderful. That's a great academic accomplishment. So why South Mountain, and what has South Mountain done for you so far?
Well, South Mountain, first of all, the obvious reason, it's close to me, and I can walk here without worrying about transportation fees or anything like that. But also, I've heard a lot of good things about the faculty here and how helpful they can be to new students. I'm also really excited about the kind of partnership the school has with NAU, and it'll really make it easier for me to get a degree in education. This past semester was my first, and I really did enjoy it. I felt the faculty really did help me when I needed it, and that's what this school has done for me this semester.
All right. Thank you so much, Christian. Scenario right for you, too, is from Carl Hayden High School. Tell us about why South Mountain Community College. You had a lot to choose from, and what has South Mountain done for you so far?
Well, my first plan was to go straight to university, but throughout my senior year, I felt that I'm a student who learns better from when you get personal attention from the teacher and it's smaller classrooms, and you get to know not only your teacher but your peers. So I loved South Mountain ever since I was little. I used to come for summer programs, and the staff was always friendly, and both of my parents, even though my mom didn't finish school, she came here, and my dad also attended here, and he just loved it, and he would always tell me about it and his experience, and I kind of felt like it was something that people in my family did. It was kind of a tradition, and just the experience I had over the summers, I really grew to love the school and the atmosphere that it had to offer me, and so I said, why not here? It's a new experience, too. It's away from my high school, so I got to meet new people and new teachers.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Scenario. And the scenario has always been that she'd be a South Mountain Cougar. Thank you so much. All right, Frank.
All right, so I actually chose this school because I was in JRTC Cadet, and we always talked about, well, we always want to go to universities, but do we want to pay for that much money? And I was the one kid who goes, no, I'm going to community college. I'll do that first, do it cheap. I got the presidential scholarship here, so that was easy. It's close to home, close to family, close to job. So this is actually a great school for me. It just worked out.
All right, excellent. And one of the biggest things that we say about community college education is that it's not a cheap education, but it's affordable education, right? That's the big thing. It's an affordable education, but that's what we say. And one thing here about Luis, as he said, went to NFL Yet Academy, but it's also a graduate of our ACE program. So we actually get a lot of our ACE students that graduate from the ACE program and continue with us here at South Mountain. So Luis, tell us a little bit about that.
So one of the main reasons I stayed here, well, I've been here since I was 16. I started with the ACE program my sophomore year in high school. And why I like the teachers, the one-on-one attention they have, and obviously it's way cheaper than a university like you guys mentioned. And it's closer to home, and it's fun to be around. It's an easy drive. That's why I chose South Mountain.
All right. Thank you, Luis. And Paula here, we were talking a little bit real quickly in the back, and she's like, I want to answer this question. What brought her back to college? And we have a lot of our wonderful adult reentry students coming back and being in the classrooms, and with diversity of age and everything in our classrooms, I think it really gives students a great round education. So Paula, tell us about what brought you to South Mountain and why back to college.
I was proud to have a community college in our community. And the reason why that I came back to college is for my children, to let them see that if I can do it, then you can do it as well. And one of them did come back, so
all right.
It helps.
And we do see a lot of success stories where mom or dad and the kids graduate together here through the college ceremony. So maybe we'll have mom and her children graduate at the same time walking down that stage. So great. Thank you, Paula. Ahmed graduated from AAEC. You all know about AAEC High School, right? Yeah, the partnership that we have with South Mountain Community College. So he's been taking college classes with us for a while, but decided to stay with us even to finish up. Ahmed, tell us a little bit about your experience here at South Mountain.
Okay, as he said, I've been here since I was a junior in high school, so this is my 3rd year here. And originally when I first came here, I wasn't too sure about how it would be to take community college classes as a junior in high school because I was 16. Most of my classmates were 20 through 30 and older. And my first year, it was different. All my classes, they were pretty easy. Everyone was really surprised when they found out I was 16. Professor still told my pre-calculus classmates I was 16, and they're like, what? So it was really a strange experience. But as my senior year of high school came around, I got the hang of it. I understood how classes worked. I understood what an associate's degree was. And so it was definitely a great experience. I understood how my professors, and I became friends with them. And at the end of my senior year, I had the option of going to U of A or staying here. And I didn't have my associate's degree because I'd only been here a year. But I had 50 college credits, so I'm like, I could go to U of A or I could stay. And I decided to stay because I thought about it and realized if I can go to U of A anytime, but if I stay here, I can mature as an adult, I can learn new skills, and this is a one-on-one environment. If I come to my professors and I need help, they're there for me. Classes are 20 people and less. Universities, there's hundreds of people. And so I just thought if I stayed here, I could mature and grow as a person with these wonderful people, so that's why I stayed.
All right, thank you, Ahmed. Good job. And how many of you guys see Ahmed around campus, right? This guy's all over the place. He's so involved. He asks questions. So I think you made a great choice in building some networks and us helping you get to that next step, right, guys? Yeah, I think so, too. All right.
Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Joseph May. The whole reason that I came to South Mountain, my intention wasn't to come here at first. My senior year, I was like, yeah, I want to go to university. I got to go there. That's just what I got to do. And I was panicking because I didn't have enough money. And one day, South Mountain Community College came in, and I believe it was Calvin from recruitment. He came into the counseling office, and they said, Joseph, you need to go in there. There's a great opportunity for you. I was like, I want to go to community college. He's like, just go. At least see what it is. So curiosity of the mind took me into that office. I sat down, and they said, there's this program called Minority Male Bridge, summer program. And I was like, okay, what's it about? Well, you have these 2 classes that you have to do. It was AAA 115, and it was Math 141. I was like, are you serious? It's like you get to knock out a few college credits. I was like, that's good and all. I got a job. They like, but there's this stipend at the end. I was like, oh, okay. We can talk a little bit about this now. So I came to the program, and because of that program, so many other opportunities opened up. I finished my math class. I got a good grade in there. I finished my AAA class. I got recruited to be a Cougar ambassador, which I am now. I got selected for a presidential scholarship. I was able to get a job here. Everything sort of just came together. I was like, why should I pay to go to university? I could knock out my prereqs here and then go to university and focus on my major and be happy. So that's one of the main reasons that I came to South Mountain. And my experience here has been great. I love everybody. The staff is so cool. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. So a lot of these stories that we hear are very familiar, and even if yourself went to a college or even South Mountain, this is why I want to work here. So a lot of times we even find people who are work studies and even retire from South Mountain because of these experiences they get here at this college specifically. There's really a college with a heart, and we use that, but it's really true. But now this new slogan that we're using is that we're a strength-based college. And a lot of us already have done our strengths quest, and we know what our top 5 are. And these students back here all know their top 5. So we want to find out what are your top 5? What are your strengths? And a lot of time as we talk about it, whether they took the CPD 150 or they took AAA 115, they learn what their strengths were and how they can use that in their everyday life, but specifically in their college experience. So guys, what I want to know from you, and we're going to start with Luis, and then we're going to go this way, and then we'll go this way, okay? Luis, tell us what your top 5 strengths are and how those have helped you in your college success, and then when you look forward, how it's going to continue to help you be successful in life.
Hi again. When I took my strengths quest was with Ms. Lorita, and CIS 105, a computer class. And my top strengths were futuristic, context, ideation, strategic, and significant. And those helped me a lot to find out. When I found out those was me, and I was like, yes, that's me. I'm always looking for the future. I'm always thinking one step ahead. I'm like, if I do this, tomorrow this is going to happen. And context has helped me a lot with the future because I look at what happened in the past and help me build for the future. So those go hand in hand. And also significant means a lot to me because everything I do means a lot to me and to my family because I'm the first to come to college. So that's why it means even more for me to be here and to find out that it's actually one of my strengths.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right, so I actually took my Strengths Quest test with Tom Kirsch and CBD 150. Mine was Achiever, Achiever, Analytical, Competition, Input, and Responsibility. I used them in school. The ones I chose for my top two in school were actually Analytical and Input. I found Input, I always use it when a teacher was talking or giving a lesson. I could just take in everything, categorize it into my specific groups, find out what I loved. And Analytical, that actually came out more in my English class than in anything. When we were writing a paper that we had to answer a question without really giving an answer at the end. And I was writing about what dreams are to people. I'm talking about when you actually sleep and you dream. Now, I found that like it was so complex that when I was breaking it down using my analytical strength, I couldn't find an answer. And that just gave me so much pleasure, and I loved it. It was just like, the more complex the problem, the more I love breaking it down and actually not being able to answer it. Now, out of school, I actually found out I use my Achiever and my competition more. And I'm talking about like when I'm at work, I was doing seasonal for Levi's. That brought me out like, okay, if I want these people to keep me here, I have to be the best I can be. I have to be better than the top salesman. I became the top salesman after that. They kept me. I'm happy. I have a job. And you know, my top strengths with responsibility, all these are actually going to help me way in my life. Like first, when I found out, I was skeptical. I was like, okay, this is probably another test. It's just telling me who I am, yada, yada, did that all in high school. But it wasn't until like I started noticing, wait a minute, I really do all this. This really is me. And well, yeah, I get all excited about it now, like you can tell. All right, cool.
Excellent. All right, thank you, Frank.
My top 5 was consistency, communication, strategic, futuristic, and positivity. I took this AAA 115 class with Julie, and at first I was surprised that positivity was one of mine because I usually, I'm upbeat and you know I'm always energized, but when it comes to like when something happens to me, when they're like, oh, I don't have enough money to cover this book or this class, or you know something, I get bad news, I'm not usually the most positive. I have to have my friends keeping me in high spirits and keep telling me, you know, keep your positive mind, keep a positive attitude, you're gonna be okay. And I kind of freak out, and that happens to do with, I'm a little OCD, so I love to be organized, and that's kind of where my strategic and my consistency comes into play, and that kind of overpowers my positivity sometimes. But I noticed that sometimes I can't keep myself positive, but I can keep my friends and my family members positive, and that's something that I enjoy to do because my mom has built us on that family and friends are very important to us. And so, you know, to see someone down is something I don't like to see, so that I'm very happy that positivity was one of my strengths, that I can help others in a way that maybe not be something I can't give them something materialistic or that has, you know, a price value, but I can give them something that makes them feel better. So I like that. I also was a little bit surprised to see communication because I am shy. I was freaking out backstage doing a little jitter dance. So, but I found that that's a good strength to have now in college because there are times where I don't understand homework that's been given or an assignment that we're doing in class, and now I know how to communicate with my professors so that I can better understand that, and it can help me a lot. It's also helped me to communicate with other staff members who aren't my professors, like Buddy Cheeks. I actually was a little curious and I had time to kill, so I went to the Student Union building and I found out that there have been Xbox and a Wii console in a closet for 3 years that no one has used. And so I asked him, can we take it out and put it up so we can play some video games during pastime? And he said, sure, but I had to help him find a cart to be able to put the materials on. And so now he's starting up a game club, and I'm hoping to be a part of it. So that's another one of my strengths put together. I'm thinking ahead for the future, and I'm using my communication skills. So
Excellent. All right. Scenario, thank you so much. Good job.
Hello again. My top 5 strengths are, actually, first of all, I took the test not in AAA, actually. I took it with Dr. Amabiska in my Introduction to Education class. And I'm really glad I took it there because we really went in depth in how we can use our strengths in the classroom. And my top 5 strengths are, number 1, adaptability, 2, intellection, 3, connectedness, 4, developer, and 5, relator. When I was looking at the titles of some of these, you know, they're kind of vague, and I didn't really see it. I mean, what exactly is a relator? But looking into them, I can really see how these can be a benefit to me in the classroom. Well, adaptability, I mean, who doesn't want to be adaptable to it's not really just the outward appearance of it. There's a bit more to it that I really do like analyzing. Like in adaptability, it's not necessarily just, something happened, let me go deal with it. It's kind of like on an instinctual level, I know something's gonna go wrong, but it's okay. There's always a margin for error, and I'm the last person to be freaking out over something going wrong because there's always a way to fix it. And I'm just really glad that the strengths are kind of, because I've taken multiple tests in AAA instead of Strengths Quest, I did True Colors. And my strengths were really reflective in that. And I'm really glad that as a future educator, I have kind of a patience for people who are really kind of polar opposite of me. And I know that everything is kind of connected in a way that we might not be able to see. You know, the classroom isn't somebody's entire life. Everybody has kind of their own story, and going into a classroom with that story, and there's not really, we shouldn't really judge a person based on their actions. That's another thing that I'm really glad to have as a future educator, that a lot of teachers I've seen in elementary and secondary schools where they kind of don't really realize that, you know, just because they're not adults doesn't mean they don't have adult level problems. And yeah, those are my strengths, and I'm really glad to be able to put them to good use.
Thank you, Christian. It sounds like that's the big relator in him, right? Making sure the students are treated all the same. Very good. All right, Joseph.
The way that I took my test was with the minority male program, and when we got ready to take it, I was like, oh, I know my strengths already. I'm self-determined. You know, I think I'm this hardcore person. And all my life, I've been told, I say it like I'm old, but most of my 19 years on this earth, I've been told I'm this nice, soft, forgiving guy. So I go to take the test, and I get them back, and I'm like, whoa, well, I can't deny that anymore. I see my strengths were harmony, includer, relator, futuristic, and connectedness. I was like, well. So I was like, you know what, this can't be all bad. Why did I get these? And then I looked, I'm like, well, I'm looking at my life and what I really want to pursue. And like I said, my major is theology. And but my ultimate career goal is to become a motivational speaker. And this motivational speaking is going to be directed to minority males and females in urban city schools, high schools. And I was like, wow. You know, and I really looked at that futuristic, and that futuristic is basically we have the strength to look ahead, and we have a vision. We want to follow it. And we have that soft spirit because we can hear what others have to tell us, and we can listen to what other people want to tell us, and how when we see that door is open, we can walk through, and we want to make sure that everyone else can walk through that door as well. And because of the situation I've grown up in, coming from the South Side, you know, I'm the first of my family to graduate high school, and then I'm coming to college. I have a vision, I have a goal, I know my strengths now because of this test, and I plan to make sure that every young person can do the exact same thing that I did. So I'm very thankful for this test. I guarantee you should give it to everybody. So,
thank you, Joseph. And I made Joseph sign on the dotted line that he's going to keep coming back and talking to our young students as he graduates and goes on to his profession. Right, Joseph?
Yes.
All right, we recorded that, so thank you. All right, Ahmed, you're up.
So I actually took my strengths quest with Phi Theta Kappa. I took it like 5 o'clock in the morning the day it was due, because we had an institute. And so when I got to institute, I put my strengths on, and I looked around, and I saw what everyone else's were. Some were Woo, Command, and I realized these were who these people were. My best friend had Woo, and I'm like, yeah, that's totally you. You're totally upbeat and positive, and that describes you. You're a harmonist. And so that definitely inspired me. And then some of the strengths, like my number one strength is competition, then achiever, then intellection, focus, and significance. And the one thing that kind of got me was like significance, because significance is you want people to notice you. You want people to realize that you're unique. And it kind of sounds like you want all the spotlight for yourself. You want to hog it all. And so I was like, is that a good strength? Is that a bad one? And then I was reading some of the quotes that people had, and it's like, this is a double-edged quote because you're a double-edged theme, because you always feel like you're on the spotlight. You're always trying to get people to realize, like, you're this person. You're not like everyone else. You are who you are, and you always want to be the best. Like, if you're going to meet me, I want to be the best student government member, or the best Phi Theta Kappa member, or the best student in calculus. Like, you want to be the best, and so you're always feeling like you're performing. And so it's a double-edged sword, because your self-esteem is based on other people, but you're always trying to do your best. So that was a good one. And I feel like I see strength every day, because when I go to my professors, I see, oh, this professor has this kind of strength. Well, I know how to deal with them. If they have harmony, they like people. I'll talk to them like, how was your day? How was your family? Or if they have like analytical, oh, how was the news? Have you been watching this? Like, you adapt with each person's strength, and so I think it's really beneficial. And what I think we should also realize is that Amy McPherson told us, you should realize your strengths, but you shouldn't make excuses. If strategic isn't one of your top strengths, don't make that your excuse for not being strategic. Oh, that wasn't my strengths. I'm harmony. You can't use that as a crutch, and so I think we should remember that.
Very good, thank you. Paula.
I first, actually, I didn't know anything about signature strengths until I came here. Excuse me. I learned mine in my class with Arnold Torres, I think his name is. Yeah, he's wonderful. But my top strengths are, okay, belief, includer, and empathy. Empathy. Yeah, and empathy really is my family. I'm a really family person, and I didn't know anything about my strengths until my sister, she read them and she told me, she said that these are really you. I can see you in these, and so that's, but the one that I like is includer, because as a child, I was always the one to include a new student whenever they came to class. I mean, the school, I was always the one to include them. So they do, then they help me here. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little nervous. They help me here because I can relate to me being an older person, and in school, it wasn't really hard for me to come back to school and be as in this class with people 19 and 20 years old. So, but with me taking that strength test, it made me feel a little bit more comfortable about being in school.
Thank you, Paula. So one of the activities that we do, and through the training that we do with students, is you always kind of put themselves in a scenario. If you were on a deserted island, you know, and you look at strengths, what type of task or how would you do it? I know definitely I would love to be on a desert island with all these guys. What about you? Yeah, I mean, these wonderful strengths. Let's give them a round of applause. I think they got a lot of great things that kind of kind of include each other. I think they'd be a wonderful group to kind of have to here. Thank you for representing South Mountain. Well, as college, you know, is to prepare them for the future, their careers. What are their goals? What do they want to do in life? College is here to kind of get them ready for that. So one of the questions that we want them to answer is now is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? And we always talk about that when we're out at the high schools doing presentations is bring back that question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's the same question as, what do you want to major in, right? It's the same question. Now it's kind of a more of adult question is, what do you want to major in? But what do you want to be when you grow up? And why? Why did you choose that specific profession? Okay, and so that's what we want to know a little bit about you guys now, because got a lot of great people out here. Maybe there's some good networks out there for you. Maybe there's some good people that know some great scholarships out there for you. So we want to know, we kind of introduced your major, but what is it that you want to be when you grow up? What is that job, and why did you choose that?
Well, ever since I was in elementary school myself, I was always interested in becoming a teacher. I would always kind of note teaching styles, and you know, I would think to myself, I wouldn't do that, or I would do that. When I graduated from high school, I say that like it was a long time ago. When I graduated, I finally, you know, decided for real, I'm going to be a teacher. And at first, I really wanted to do secondary math, because something I'm kind of passionate about is, well, I wouldn't say math itself, but just kind of diminishing this fear that people have of math, because I may not be the best at math, but I can really appreciate it. And I feel like early on in elementary school, a lot of teachers themselves are afraid of math, and that kind of rubs off on the kids, and they grow up just kind of cultivating this fear of math. And oh God, when they get to algebra and they start throwing numbers in there, that's when they start freaking out. But yeah, memory isn't one of my top strengths. What was the question? Okay. Nowadays, I really want to focus more on elementary education, because there's a lot more opportunity there to help with that math problem. And I've been in an internship already in elementary school. And I just really liked the atmosphere. I met a lot of really passionate teachers. I met a lot of teachers who weren't so passionate. And I really just loved the field of education. I think it's one of the most noble things you can do is to devote yourself to making somebody else's world different and helping them build upon what makes them happy.
Well, after not being so little anymore, I realized that I can't be a pink Power Ranger. And my dad suggested I go into being a lawyer or a doctor. Well, I can't stand the sight of large amount of blood, and a lawyer just doesn't seem so interesting to me. But education is something I grew up around because my dad is a teacher, and like Christian said, you've had those teachers who, you know, are a good teacher, and then you have those teachers who are a really good teacher. So I wanted to be a really good teacher. I wanted to be one of those teachers that impact a student's life. I've had many teachers who was just that one teacher who helped me get better at math, or helped me not feel so small on a subject where I tackled a subject and I just feel defeated. And they've helped me out of that, and not only have they helped me through that or through a homework problem, but they've helped me through a life problem that I had. Maybe situations at home weren't so well, or just realizing the possibility of me being able to achieve a higher education, and that really impacted me a lot. So meeting those teachers and knowing my dad and the close relationship that he has with students and that he helps them, and just seeing that has impacted me and made me want to become a teacher. But at the same time, I'm not the greatest at math. English is a really good subject. I get a lot of compliments from teachers, but I wanted something that I wouldn't get bored of waking up to every morning. That's what I really wanted. I didn't want a job. I've seen that with my family members. They maybe didn't get a full education, and they're working at a department store or, you know, as a mechanic, or they have a part-time job and they're struggling. And I know teachers don't make as much as other job opportunities, but like he said, it's also about the fulfillment you get when you help students. And so art is something I'm passionate about and something that I love. And I wouldn't mind waking up and teaching students that and being able to help them on an education level as well as a creative one, which I think is really interesting because creativity is something that kind of starts to die a little as you get older. You know, you become more realistic and you leave your childhood kind of behind. And I want to be able to keep that alive because I think, you know, I think that's what students don't realize is that even though, you know, no matter what age you have, you still have that little kid inside of you. And I kind of seen that today come out of some of the teachers, which is really awesome. So that's something I'm interested in right now as a career choice.
I'm about to get a little excited again. Okay. So when I was first thinking about which career I wanted, and I was trying to figure out, well, what do I have a passion for? And I was remembering since I've been a little kid at 5, I say that like I have a lot of years, but I've always been with my dad and how he dealt with computers. You know, I used to sit right there and watch him build computers where he bought parts for from tower and up. And I always used to love how when we got it all done, I would help him when we first pressed the power button and it turned on without exploding. And we were like, that's awesome. And like as growing up, computers have always been a part of me. I'm a giant geek, that's what I like. And I'd always found it fascinating how technology just came just from those short years, how I used to see these giant like computer screens this big, and now I have one in my pocket. Like, that's just crazy. And I was thinking, well, okay, I'm going to look into the job, see how anything technology deals well with. And I saw computer programming. I was like, well, that interests me a lot. Like, I still don't have no idea how to program anything, but I loved it. I was looking into codes. I found a friend who'd actually practiced when she was in high school how to write codes. I was like, wow, that seems really wonderful. And I started researching. I wanted to do it. I did projects about it in high school. And like my whole career choice was what's going to keep me steady in the future, because everyone's always going to be using computers no matter how far you go out into the future. And what I just had one giant passion for and a past with. And that's how I came up with computer programming.
I actually have a visual, so it's not so plain. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying, first of all, I wanted to become a doctor. Coming from Mexico, I lived there 9 years since I was born. I was born here, but when I was 3 months, we left. And there's less help medical-wise in Mexico, like in other countries. And so I was like, I want to become a doctor, and I want to build a little clinic and like how the doctors have it, and just help people, help the poor, help everybody. And then as I started growing up, I started writing, oh, I want to be a doctor in the essays, high school. And then when I got to high school, I started playing the violin in my freshman year. And I was like, I want to become a doctor that plays the violin. And I actually had Dr. Garrison's daughter as my teacher. That's how I know him, and I played several times here. And I was like, maybe that would work. But then when we started doing research, I was like, to become a doctor, it takes so much work. And I'm not afraid of the challenge of that many years, but that's too many years for me. I don't want to be old like when I start working, and I want to help people now rather than later. So my next option was be an FBI agent, so that's what I made here. And I actually made this in my humanities class with Amy and Nancy. And this was our final project for the honor showcase. And this actually was a mistake. It's supposed to be Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the yellow line covered it. So me and Amy came up with the story that since I'm an investigator, you have to investigate what the word was. So that's what I was saying during the showcase when people would walk by and they'd be like, is that a mistake? I was like, no, I'm an investigator, so you have to investigate with me. And well, now the strengths have helped me a lot with this because since I'm strategic, I'm futuristic, and that helps me a lot with finding what I know of cases, maybe to find people, a strategic to find a way to find the criminals in a faster way, better way, maybe you can say. And it's just fascinating to me because, well, one, you can have a gun, and then just I don't want to shoot anybody. I just want to show it. And then you can wear a uniform, so you're always presentable to people, and you have higher, maybe not higher precision, but you looked at as a higher, I don't know, precision maybe. People look up to you, little kids would like to see you. Oh, there's a cop, there's a cop. Well, but then some people, if they see you in back of the car in the rearview mirror, they're like, oh, there's a cop, I should slow down. And that's how I am, but I don't know, that's what I want to become. I want to become an FBI agent. That way I have to be a cop first, and then 3 years of experience, and then I would apply for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and that's my future. In my future. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis.
Well, I worked at Good Samaritan for 28 years, and that's when I decided to come on back to school. But what I want to do, I want to be a social worker for teens that are on drugs. There are so many teens that are out there on drugs, and I want to get to them before they get on, they're smoking marijuana, and then they go to a higher drug. And I want to get to those, to stop them before they get to that higher drug. That is my goal in life. And if I tell a lot of people this, because if it doesn't happen for me to do it, then maybe somebody else can do it, because we really, truly need to reach out to our youth and get them off the drugs. And that's what I want to do.
So when I'm a doctor, I'm not going to be too old. I'll be like 30, so not too old. So I want to be a neuroscientist, actually. And so I've wanted to be one since 10th grade, I think. So in my sophomore year of high school, I saw a movie called Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story. And it's a movie about the first neurosurgeon to successfully separate Siamese twins. And so it's definitely an interesting movie. I'd recommend it. And so after watching the movie, I wondered, like, what's the field about? How is the field? What do you do? And so I researched it, and it seemed interesting. It seemed like the brain is what makes us who we are. Each of our brains is different. But if I was to take out Julie Wechsler's brain and Tom Kirsch's brain, I mean, I couldn't tell which was who. They look the same. They're similar. But they're both such unique and different people, and that's what does it all. And so that's why I want to be a brain surgeon. I want to find out, like, all the mysteries of the brain. Although we found out so much about it, and although we've made such progress, it's still such a long way to go, and it's so interesting.
The reason for my major is because, well, when we were little, I think everybody wanted to be doctors or lawyers. That was the whole cliche going on. My grandma told me all the time, you go to college, you need to make sure that you go so you can make some money. You want to make a lot of money so you can help support me. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. But I remember I was a freshman, and you know, I was set on becoming a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer, defense lawyer. And I heard Will Smith speak, and I quote him when he said, why be realistic? And I was sitting there, I was listening to him, he said, people, if the world were filled with realists, we wouldn't be able to walk into a room, flip a switch, and a light would come on. He said, that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to bend a piece of metal, put people in it, and fly them over the ocean. And I was sitting there, I was like, that's deep, that's deep. You know, it really spoke to me. I was like, you know, I want to do something that people aren't used to doing. I know people want to make money, but I want to love what I do, even if I don't make money. I said, and when I do it, I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to inspire them. So I was thinking, okay, I love church. I love talking to God. I'm a godly person. I try to be. And my first intent was to become a preacher. So I was going into theology. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my doctorate in philosophy. I'm going to become a minister. And I was thinking, you know, that's good and all. Maybe somewhere down the road I will do that. And I was like, but I take interest in world religions. So I was like, okay, I want to teach others about the religions. I want to let them know. I said, but that's just not enough to be a teacher. I said, you know, there's something else. You know, and everyone's told me you have a gift to speak. You can inspire people with how you talk. And I was like, I got it. I want to be a motivational speaker. I said, I wish I would have had somebody when I was younger to sit there and tell me, no matter what this world tells you you can't do, you can do it. You have a choice in your life of what you want to do. You don't have to listen to what everyone else says. You want something, quoting Will Smith again, you go out and you go get it, period. There's no other distractions distracting you from that. And because of that, I was like, okay, but who do I really want to speak to? Do I want to speak to just adults? Do I want to speak to just little kids? Or do I want to speak to the middle schoolers? Who do I want to speak to? My main focus is for high school, but it's for everyone to hear, because everyone can learn something from someone regardless of the age. So when I decided to become a motivational speaker, I was like, okay, what's going to be my message, though? What am I getting across? And when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, my whole message would be to tell them, you know, everyone has a story. How are you going to end your story? I know how I'm going to end my story. My story may have started off bad, but I know it's going to end good because I know I have the power to change that. And because I want to get to that, I heard Eric Thomas, great motivational speaker. I was listening to him one day, and he said, he's talking about this man. He went and asked the guru, he said, how do I become successful in life? How do I get to be great? And the guru said, okay, you want to know? Meet me at the ocean at 3:30 in the morning. He was like, okay, cool. He comes out to the ocean. He's wearing a suit. He's all decked up. He's out there talking about making money. He want to make money. And he's out there by the ocean. And man said, come in the ocean. He's like, why? He's like, just come in the ocean. So the dude walks out. The water's up to his knees. Dude walks out a little bit further. Water's up to his waist. He walks out just a little bit further. Water's up to here, up to his shoulder. And the man said, do you really want to know what it takes to be successful? He said, yes. The man dumps him down in the water, and he's holding him. And the dude's kicking, he's fighting, trying to get up. So he brings the dude up, and the dude's like, why'd you do that? He said, what were you trying to do right now? He said, I was trying to breathe. And the guru said, until you want success as bad as you want to breathe, you won't have nothing. So everything I do as bad as I want to breathe. I'm not worried about nothing but trying to get to that goal, and I want to let every individual know you can get to that. So that's why I want to do what I want to do.
Thank you, Joseph. Well, I don't think he has a future in motivational speaking, do you? Yeah, he definitely does. Good job, everyone. Thank you. And this is a representation of who our students are here at South Mountain Community College. And I'm very proud to say that we work with these students on a everyday basis, right? And they're in our communities. They're ready to come here, and we got to get out there and get them in here. And that you guys are doing a great job. These are our biggest recruiters, right? The students are our biggest recruiters out there in the community. Well, we're about to wrap it up. An hour has already flown by. I think it's flown by so fast. But we're going to end on one note. And the note is, guys, what they're doing here today is called convocation. And what they do is we come together once a semester to kind of just update us on some new things happening here at South Mountain, all faculty and staff. And we even have some vice presidents right over here, if you can see them in the corner, you know? And they come around here and we just kind of update. So what I want you to do is give us some words of advice as faculty and staff here at South Mountain Community College on what do we do that's great? And what can we do to make your student experience even better? Okay, so what do we do that's great as South Mountain's faculty and staff, and what can we do to make your experience that much better? So let's go ahead and we'll start on that this way.
Start with me again? All right. Okay. What you guys do great. You guys are doing a wonderful job, I have to say. I thought when I came to college it was all, you know, it's on you, it's what you want to do. If you don't do it, it's not going to get done. Guaranteed, it is like that. But the one thing that I say you guys do very well and keep doing it is you care. You care more than just about a paycheck, how much fame you're going to get from it. You care about the student. You want to help someone. So the fact that you guys care motivates other people to want to come like, hey, you know, my teacher cares about me. They want me to do good. Maybe I can do good. Maybe the first step is you believing in the student. And I know college is about all self, but it does help to have someone do that. So that's what I like about South Mountain. You guys care so much about the student and their individualism. So.
What you do well is create an environment of inclusiveness. You make everyone feel like they're welcome, like if I need something, I can come to you. If I need help at all or I need to know where to go, I can come to you guys. And that's what you guys do really well. The only thing you guys could do even better is if you see a student failing or if a student needs help, go to them and just don't expect them to come to you because they may be shy or there may be other issues going on.
That chair, I'm glad this is the last time I got to get out of it. I've found out here that everybody that I've reached out to, because that I reached out to, was there for me. They opened their arms. They listened to whatever I had to say. Everybody that I reached out to, and I just want to thank you, those who I went to, there for reaching out and helping me.
Like my people set up here, I mean, you guys help us a lot. You guys care, like you said. You guys actually like make a difference in our lives also, and we hope we make a difference in yours. And keep doing what you're doing, helping people, motivating us to continue beyond even South Mountain, to want more, to keep going and just helping the community also.
All right, I'm going to stop you there real quick because we're getting a little bit, we only got one person that was brave enough to say what we can do better, right? Don't be shy. They won't hold it against you in the grades and your classes, things like that. It's okay. We need to hear that, right? What can we do better as well as a faculty and staff? So don't be shy about that.
Still a little shy. Okay, so you've already heard 4 times. But yeah, I really do like how you guys are. I love the atmosphere here. You guys are friendly. You love your students. And I love seeing that you guys are proud of what you do. I mean, you're proud that you come here. You're proud that you teach here. You're proud you work here. That just creates an environment that I love. And I also like that you guys are still trying to improve on something already great. Like, the only thing I have to say is, like, maybe make it a little more fun when you guys are here. Because I know when we were students, we were sitting here, we were just kind of like, oh, I don't know what that means to me. Like, okay. But I really did enjoy it. And I think also that you guys should really jump on this strengths quest thing. Like, I'm still forgetting how little new it is. Was this the first year? Like, what is?
We're in our first full year.
Okay, yeah. Keep doing this. This is actually great. Like, it really, I'm pretty sure you've seen how it's helped us and how it's helped you guys. So I would definitely keep working on this. Yep.
Thank you. All right, good job.
I would say one of the things that you guys do really well is me coming from Carl Hayden High School. Most of you may have heard the reputation that the school has. And coming here, I was a little scared because most of the kids who do come here are from Chavez or South Mountain High School or from high schools around this area of the community. And I was a little scared because I would do high school nights and people hearing I'm from Carl Hayden would run away or scurry away. And I'm glad that I didn't come here and was just another statistic of my community that I lived in and now transferred back to this community. And you guys were really welcoming when I came in. And like the rest of the students said, that you guys are very welcoming and you guys are very friendly and you create this atmosphere that just allows us to be our best and do our best. And I really don't know any improvements. I would say maybe looking into extending the triple A115 class for a whole semester, because I know when I was with Julie, me and my classmates, we were like, does it really have to end? Can you just extend it? Can you extend it on your own and we'll just show up, we promise? It was a really fun class, and I think not that based on the work that we get, but based on that we get to communicate and network with other students, and you don't really get that full time in class because you're doing, you're working and you're studying on your assignments. And I think that class opens up to where you actually get to talk to people, because community college is so transit and, so you come, you do your classes, and then you leave. And it's not like a university where you spend a lot of time there if you, choose not to or not. And I think it allows students to actually open up to one another and communicate, and also to get to know the teachers more. And I know Julie came into our class a week late, and we opened her with open arms, and we asked if everything was okay with her. And we also got to meet Scott, who was really cool. And I would just say extend that class, because it teaches you about the strengths quest, and that really helps you find yourself. So that's mine.
All right, Scenario, thank you.
I just want to say I think I'm in a pretty tough position. I think everything that can be said has been said. But not to lay it on thick, but I really can't think of anything to change because a lot of the faculty and a lot of the professors I've had this first semester have really, really helped me. If anybody knows Deborah Spatafor, I've seen her 7 times before school started. Coming from first generation, I really had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea how anything worked. And I have nothing but praise to sing for you guys. A lot of the teachers have really helped me out through really tough times. I wasn't sure about housing for a while, and I really, I just really, nothing but singing praises here, guys. You're not paying me to give you compliments or anything. This is all free. Just really do keep at it. From all the experience I've had here, you guys are really actually making a difference in the lives of students. And I really can't thank you guys enough.
All right, excellent. Well, let's give our great panel a huge round of applause. We got Christian, we got Scenario. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Paula, and everyone, Ahmed and Joseph. Thank you so much. If you guys want to stand up, again, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming down today as they get ready for classes to start. These are our students. We thank them so much for coming. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful last week before classes start. Enjoy your time, and we look forward to having you guys here again next week. Thank you. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your convocation, guys.